waived DeWanna Bonner. I gotta say, I'm very, very surprised at the decision to simply waive her, but I guess because she had an unprotected contract, and that protects them and allows them to cut her. So they have waived DeWanna Bonner. And guess what? Ari McDonald is back in the picture. They have re-signed the speed racer, pesky point guard who was doing so much in those 4 or 5 games that she played for the Indiana Fever while Caitlyn Clark was out on the mend.
Something seismic is stirring in Indiana, and it's far more than just drama. It's a full-scale upheaval shaking the foundation of the Fever franchise. When head coach Stephanie White finally stepped up to the MIC, it wasn't your typical press conference. It was a bombshell. From the stunning decision to waive DeWanna Bonner to the heart-sinking update on Caitlyn Clark's injury, every word hit like a tremor. Layer in the rising tensions simmering behind the scenes, and it's clear. This moment could reshape the trajectory of the Fever's entire season.
Steph, did you have any parting message for DeWanna or anything? Like that you coached her before the season, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, obviously we're disappointed that things didn't work out. I love DB. I mean, DB is somebody that I have so much respect for. She's a Hall of Famer. And while I'm disappointed, I always, first and foremost, want her to be happy. And so I'm thankful for the time that we've had, and certainly, want her to be happy and wish her the best, and turning right now our focus to our team and what we can do to.
Oh, so now the hot rumor flying around like a caffeinated bat is that DeWanna Bonner bailed on the Fever because of Caitlyn Clark. Seriously, that's the storyline we're going with? Somebody cue the laugh track, because that theory is straight-up sitcom material. If that's the excuse, it's not just flimsy, it's hobbling like a bad ankle sprain. Let's be honest, blaming your exit on a rookie is like quitting your job because the intern uses too many exclamation points in emails. It's petty, it's laughable, and it's not fooling anyone.
Caitlyn Clark is out with a groin injury. Now, if you guys have been watching the Indiana Fever and Caitlyn Clark play over the past 3 games, it is very clear that Caitlyn Clark is not feeling like Caitlyn Clark. She has only made 1 3-pointer in her last 3 games, and even just last game, she only had 6 points. But it wasn't only her performance on the court that was worrying fans, it was also just her demeanor, her energy. It felt like something was wrong. She wasn't hyping up the crowd like she normally does, and even in her pregame routine, she was doing some things differently. Some fans also noticed that she had her upper left leg taped during a couple of those games.
It doesn't hold up. It doesn't make sense. And it sure as hell doesn't earn any sympathy points. Bonner didn't just walk away. She bolted like the house was on fire and her career was still simmering on the stove. The way she vanished, you'd think Caitlyn Clark showed up blasting a boom box with villain energy. But here's the plot twist nobody asked for. This wasn't on Caitlyn. Caitlyn Clark didn't waive Bonner, and she definitely didn't light the match.
Fortunately, Caitlyn Clark out yet again with a left groin injury. Caitlyn Clark will be missing tonight's game versus the Los Angeles Sparks. The venue will be open. Out with a left groin injury. We go from a quad to a quad to a groin.
Caitlyn Clark didn't draft the strategy, rearrange the minutes, or assign locker room snacks. She was too busy rehabbing an injury and trying not to get steamrolled by the media circus that follows her like a Kardashian with a clipboard. So let's stop acting like this was some tragic saga of veteran versus rising star. This wasn't Shakespeare. It was DeWanna Bonner starring in her own one-woman drama, pulling off what can only be described as a Hall of Fame-level trash move. A tactical tantrum in high definition.
And how much of an absence do you expect from her beyond today?
Yeah, late last night. I think it's very much a day-to-day thing, how she responds to treatment. I stay in my lane and let our strength and conditioning and our physical, our AT staff do what they do best. But yeah, I found out late last night, and then we'll treat it day to day.
Back to back, a factor at all with that?
I mean, I don't know if it's a factor from a physical standpoint, from an athletic training standpoint. Certainly in my mind, it is. But at the same time, she's shown that she's tough and she's a quick healer. So we'll see.
A melodramatic exit so transparent, it could have been stocked in the glassware aisle at Target. You don't abandon your team mid-transition and expect a sympathy parade. What Bonner pulled wasn't leadership. It wasn't brave. It was the basketball equivalent of ghosting a group project because you didn't like who got picked as team captain. And now we're supposed to buy the narrative that she left for some higher calling? Please. She quit. Period. She dipped the moment the headlines stopped orbiting her. She bailed because the spotlight shifted 3 feet to the right, and that's not noble, it's narcissistic. And yes, let's talk about cowardice, because we're going there. Not showing up when things get tough isn't veteran wisdom. It's cowardice dressed in a team-issued warm-up. That's the kind of decision that sticks. Years from now, no one's going to remember the stat lines or the shooting percentage. They'll remember this, the moment she walked away. The moment she ghosted a franchise in need. That's the legacy now. That's the tattoo she just inked onto her career. And like it or not, it's not coming off.
Caitlyn Clark clearly not looking like herself. The Indiana Fever has the game put away, yet we still put her back in the game at 45 seconds left. Caitlyn Clark dealing with an injury, not looking like herself. The game is already out of hand, yet we still put her back in with 45 seconds left. How much patience do I need to have before I can start going nuclear? Because I am getting very frustrated with what I am seeing. To everybody that said Caitlyn Clark didn't look like herself, salute to you. For everybody that said Caitlyn Clark might be going through something, salute to you.
But hey, credit where it's due. Bonner's exit cleared space. And sometimes, subtraction is the loudest form of addition. You want out? Fine. Don't let the logo hit you on the way. Because in Bonner's place, the Fever just brought in Ari McDonald, a fearless upgrade with zero baggage and even less tolerance for theatrics. She's all grit, all speed, and actually shows up. No flinching under pressure. No disappearing when the locker room gets loud. Let's be clear. Ari didn't come to Indiana to sip tea and spectate drama. She came to run, grind, and make defenders wish they never laced up. Quick hands. Sharper edge. And absolutely no time for diva exits dressed up as career moves. And the idea that Caitlyn Clark is somehow the villain in all this? Please. That's like blaming the weatherman for your broken umbrella. It's deflection. It's denial. It's delusion. Gift wrapped in nostalgia and begging for a scapegoat.
Suspect DeWanna Bonner would be returning to the Indiana Fever. She has been out now for 6 games away from the team for only personal reasons, and the team was being really tight-lipped about it. They weren't giving any more information. But the whole thing, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of fans, is that there was something else going on. This didn't seem like something where there was maybe something going on with her family. It didn't seem like she was sick or injured. She just simply stepped away from the team, and nobody really knew why.
And let's not skip over the delicious irony here. Bonner, once the gold standard for reliability, morphed overnight into a walking contradiction. The same veteran who preached unity and loyalty, she vanished the moment things got real. When the roster tightened and the stakes rose, she didn't rise with them, she folded. The second the spotlight shifted, she wanted her own stage. But this isn't a one-woman show. And if it ever was, the curtain just dropped. Hard. It's like the fog lifted. The Fever didn't lose a vital piece. They shed a distraction. And now, without the diva energy clogging up the chemistry, the team is finally starting to breathe again. Sure, Clark's on the bench. But don't let the crutches fool you. She still commands the room. She's still the engine. She's still the future. And despite the desperate revisionism, her rise didn't push anyone out. Clark didn't shove Bonner off the stage. Bonner just couldn't handle the glow of someone else's spotlight, and tripped over her own ego on the way out.
But there's so many things that go into, and I'm talking about being happy personally. Like I want them to be happy personally. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. It's a different group. While system might still be very similar, it's a different group, and things are happening quickly, and being able to mesh. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think we've seen that in.
What's wild is how predictably messy this all turned out. You'd expect someone with Bonner's resume to exit with at least a shred of grace, a thank you note, a handshake, maybe a nostalgic photo montage set to soft piano. But nope. She hit the eject button like it was NBA 2K and rage quit in the third quarter. It wasn't graceful. It was graceless. A soap opera storm off, complete with bad timing and worse optics, like a villain mad their evil plan didn't get enough screen time. But now, with Ari McDonald in the mix, the energy has shifted. And in all the right ways. Less drama, more hustle. Less noise, more results. While Bonner's PR team scrambles to repackage this exit as noble, the Fever are locked in, grinding through practices, building chemistry, and doing what real teams do, the work. And somewhere in the background, Caitlyn Clark's probably laughing under her breath. Because once again, the world's trying to cast her as the villain in someone else's flop. Too bad the script's tired, the ratings are down, and the star already left the set.